Hi, my name is Christopher from DeFeo Materials, and I'm going to tell you how we would set up bins if we were going to open a new landscape supply yard. Having product inventory in stock is the key to making a sale. For example, if your car blows up tomorrow, you are going to immediately start looking for a new car. And what else would you do? And the only options you're going to have is what's in stock if you actually want to have that car back for you to drive, However, you may select to filter out any of the listing of cars that are not in stock unless you have a spare car that's just laying around randomly. So right there, the dealer that had what you wanted in stock is who made the sale. That's what really separates landscape suppliers that are successful from the unsuccessful and the ones that have failed in business. To properly size the bins, you really need two main conditions. You have to have the supply and demand really mapped out of what that is for each product, because that is the golden rule, supply and demand. Step one, measure the area that you have to dedicate to bulk inventory. Make sure that you leave enough room for the trucks to maneuver and that they can easily get offloaded, because they're going to like going to your yard and you'll be able to get deliveries from all sorts of trucks, not just a triaxle, quad axle, twin axle, any straight truck that doesn't need as much room as a tractor trailer does to maneuver, which a lot of the materials that you might be carrying for decorative stone at least will be coming from a long distance away. Step two, decide what products that you're going to be keeping in bulk. And you can do this based on what is really popular in the area where you want to bring in your own store. Step three, estimate the volume that you're going to need of each product in a given time period. So if you need 10 yards in a week, 20 yards in a week, figure it out. Step four, talk to your suppliers about how long it would take to get an order, or when an order is going to be ready of a product, and how much comes in each order. So if one order is 20 tons, 25 tons, 30 tons, you got to know what comes in each order. Step five is to speak with the trucking company that you will be working with to deliver these products. And if you're not picking them up yourself, you really want to have a good relationship with some trucking company that might do most of your work, because they're going to really focus on delivering your products and keeping you happy as a bigger customer. During the busy season, any trucking companies, especially in bulk material, they take on a lot more work than they have in the fall or the winter. So try to get that extra inventory in when they're slow, and plan on extra time when they're busy, because they're going to have 20 people calling instead of 2. Step 6, now that you know how long it's going to take to get these products from both your trucking companies and your suppliers, you got to calculate how much product that you will need to store based on the numbers. Remember that the delay in some of these products can go on for months. So depending on how long your area has for their busy season, they have to get the jobs done most of the time by summer. That's when they're looking to get it done. So it could go on for months, 2, 3, 4 months. In the Northeast, it's probably 2 months that the delay goes. So make sure you're accounting for that. Step 7 is to draw out a 2-scale map of your yard and the planned bin layout that you have. So you want to make sure you're using a ruler and you're actually using some sort of scale, so that if it's 20 foot wide by 12 foot deep, whatever your bin measurements are, most of the blocks are 5 or 6 feet long, you can figure out how many blocks you're going to need to get in, because they can be really on back order during the busy season. And you also want to have the measurements of each bin, so okay, this bin holds 20 yards, this bin holds 100 yards. And that way, if you need to make some improvements or adjustments in the future, you already know what the layout is. And you can also label each bin to know what products are in what, so that your customers know and your employees know easily what bin to get what material from. It will reduce the amount of mistakes that happen, and a lot of customers would get loaded with the wrong material. Trust me, from what I've heard and what we do with our bins, if they're labeled, it's going to be a lot easier. So make sure that you have a clearly labeled bin of also how many tons or how many yards, whatever you're selling, for the measurement of your yard. You got to make sure you have that labeled there, so you know what does that bin hold, so when you see it getting lower, you can make sure to give that amount of time you need to order more material. So thank you very much for watching this little video about how we would set up a yard if we were going to have a retail yard.